Let us move on to molecular taxonomy. Molecular taxonomy is also known as molecular systematics and molecular phylogenetics. It uses the structure of molecules to obtain information about an organism's evolutionary relationships. Mostly, nucleic acids are used to infer the relationship among the organisms. It analyzes the hereditary molecular differences, and molecular data reflect more likely true phylogeny than the other data, mostly morphological data. The basis of molecular taxonomy is that all living organisms contain DNA, RNA, and proteins. Genetically closely related organisms will have high degree of similarity in their molecular structure. Molecules of distantly related organisms shows a higher degree of dissimilarity. Molecular taxonomists use such kind of data to build a relationship tree which will give a idea about the probable evolution of the organisms. Techniques used in molecular study is that DNA should be extracted from the cells by lysis of the cells. The DNA that is precipitated and then purified. The purified DNA is amplified, which we call as gene amplification, and this is done by methods like polymerase chain reaction. And the amplified products are sequenced by the common method like Sanger's method or Maxim and Gilbert's method to determine the precise sequence of the nucleotides. The sequenced DNA is now aligned, which we call the sequence alignment, here wherein we arrange the sequence of DNA, RNA, or protein to identify the regions of similarity, which may be a consequence of functional, structural, or evolutionary relationship between the sequences. And this is then put to phylogenetic analysis, wherein the evolutionary relationships are estimated. Phylogenetic analysis can be done, uh, and the resultant will be a phylogenetic tree. And different molecular markers are used to analyze the phylogeny of organisms, like allozymes, mitochondrial DNA, microsatellites, RFLP, RAPD, AFLP, single nucleotide polymorphisms, microchips, and arrays. The next technique in molecular taxonomy is the usage of RFLP, restriction fragment length polymorphisms. These polymorphisms are differences among individuals in the length of the DNA fragments that are cut by the restriction enzymes. Restriction enzymes are proteins that cut DNA at short specific sites, which we call it as restriction sites. After a segment of DNA has been cut into pieces, the fragments are examined using gel electrophoresis, which separates the DNA fragment according to the size. If two individuals differ in their DNA sequences at the particular restriction site, then the DNA fragments cut by the restriction enzymes will be of different lengths and sizes. Restriction fragment length polymorphism is a technique that was invented in 1984 by the English scientist Alec Jeffreys. RFLP is used to analyze the unique patterns in DNA fragments in order to genetically differentiate the organisms. These patterns are called as variable number tandem repeats. So, RFLP technique exploits these differences in the DNA sequences to recognize the variation at the interspecific and intraspecific levels. Amplified fragment length polymorphism. In short, it is called as AFLP. AFLP is a PCR based tool used in genetics research, DNA fingerprinting, and also in genetic engineering. It is developed in the 1990s by Keijin. AFLP uses restriction enzymes to digest the genomic DNA, and the digested DNA is ligated with adapters at the sticky ends, and a subset of restriction fragments is then selected and it is amplified. This selection is achieved by using primers Primers are short nucleotide sequences which are complementary to the adapter sequence, the restriction site sequence, and a few nucleotides inside the restriction site fragments. The amplified fragments are then separated and visualized on an agarose gel electrophoresis or through automated capillary sequencing instruments. Random amplified polymorphic DNA, otherwise called as rapid or RAPD, RAPDs are DNA fragments amplified by PCR using short synthetic primers, normally 10 base pair in length, and these primers will be of random sequence. These oligonucleotides serve as both forward and reverse primer. They can amplify fragments from 1 to 10 genomic sites simultaneously. These amplified fragments are then separated by gel electrophoresis when polymorphisms are detected after staining with ethidium bromide. And these polymorphisms will be in the form of presence or absence of bands of particular size. These polymorphisms are considered to be of primary importance due to variation in the annealing of the primer to that particular site. And the length differences that is generated can be of taxonomic importance. DNA barcoding is a new method for the quick identification of any species. So nowadays this is becoming very popular method of identification of taxa. It is based on extracting a DNA sequence from any tissue of an organism and a barcode is formed. DNA barcoding is able to address fundamental ecological and evolutionary questions. So the main process of DNA barcoding consists of two steps. A DNA barcode library should be built of the known species, and the unknown species, the barcodes sequence of the unknown species will be matched with the already existing DNA barcode library for identification. Steps involved in DNA barcoding. First, the DNA from the sample should be isolated. It is amplified for the target DNA barcode region using a PCR. The PCR products are then sequenced for its DNA. Then the results are compared with the reference databases already present in the DNA barcode libraries. DNA barcoding studies normally use one or few plastid regions like RBCL and MATK genes, the non-coding spacer TRNH PSBA gene, and the internal transcribed spacer region, that is ITS region of nuclear ribosomal DNA. For fungi, the barcoding studies uses internal transcribed spacer region, that is ITS region in the nuclear ribosomal cistron. This region shows reasonable discriminatory power at the species level in many groups. Animal barcoding studies uses a region in the mitochondrial cytochrome C oxidase 1 gene, CO1 gene. Barcode of library data system. It's a database wherein it contains a reference library of different DNA barcodes so that the unknown barcodes can be matched with it to identify that particular organism. In short, this barcode of life data systems, we call it as BOLD. It's a searchable repository for barcode records, storing specimen data and images as well as sequences and trace files. It provides an identification engine based on the current barcode library and monitors the number of barcode sequence records and species coverage. Significance of molecular taxonomy. Molecular taxonomy helps to identify a very large number of species of plants and animals by the use of conserved molecular sequences. It uses DNA data evolutionary patterns of biodiversity. DNA taxonomy plays a very vital role in phytogeography, which ultimately helps in genome mapping and biodiversity conservation. DNA based molecular markers used for designing DNA based molecular probes have also been developed under the branch of molecular systematics.